Hey, this is Doug. Really doing a product unboxing that's uninteresting, so you can stop watching the video. I mostly want to use this really cool Rode um, Podcaster V2 microphone. I enjoy talking into the microphone. All right, anyhow, did get some products. It's the last day of 2022. Thank you. We are glad to see 2022 go away. It had its ups and downs. There was some good stuff in 2022. It's not a box, got a bag. and so generally around October, I go to jetpens.com, and they're not sponsoring me or anything. I've got no sponsors. I make no money anymore. My affiliate programs all died. Amazon kicked me out because I clicked my own ad, and that's a different video that I'm going to call BS on. Because they kicked me out 10 years almost to the date of me being involved in the program. It's a lot of fun. I was an affiliate, Amazon affiliate for a while. By the way, if you're a camper, these make great sit pads. Very lightweight. You're not going to, it's been raining or there's some dew out. You put this down on the log, you sit on it. Got a little bit of padding. Not much, but ultra lightweight for backpacking and stuff. Got another one. Two at once. So, like I was saying, these make great sit pads. They're free, effectively. I mean, at the cost of whatever you send in it. But we all get these things all the time. And you can put them on the ground, sit on them. Want to make a meal, don't want to get your stuff dirty, put it down here, use it as kind of a tray. Almost no weight whatsoever. Slide it in your backpack, roll it up, put it in your pocket. There's your lightweight backpacking tip. So around, I do all my management of my life with these Hobonichi Techos. They use a Tome River paper that is really good for these fountain pens that I like to use. It does take a second. With certain inks, you have to write on it and then let it dry. This one's full of my personal notes, so I'm not going to go through the features of it and whatnot. You can look back in time and see, search for Hobonichi, Hobonichi, in my videos, and you can find an unboxing of one of these things. And that's what this is. Normally, it's around October when I get one of these. And I love these books. This one is troublingly skinny. January start, 2023. What in the world? Oh, maybe that is the same size. Make sure I ordered the right thing. All right. Well, this is the A6 version. That's what I use, and it's the English language version. I believe the very first time I ordered one of these, there was no English version, and it was full of Japanese stuff. I got to go back and look at it. I keep these. They're journals. Techo means journal. And these things are just fantastic. I'm still a big Covey fan. So if you go to the Franklin Covey website, I used to use the Franklin Planner system, and I've got copies of that somewhere around here. But moving to this was so much nicer. I still use the Franklin. I still use First Things First. Oh, look at that! Here's the Life Book, Hobonichi Techo 2023, and of course, as this grew in popularity, they started doing more English stuff. There's an English store and a non-English store that will have all kinds of kanji and stuff that if you can't read it, it says the Hobonichi Techo is released by the company Hobonichi, the maker of all kinds of fun things. The website, called Hobonichi Itoi Shinbun, I apologize if I'm butchering that, is led by Shinjisato Itoi. It's updated daily with free articles and also serves as an online store. There are a variety of active projects there too, including Hobonichi School, Hobonichi Globe, Hobonichi Nichiyobi, Joys of Life Market, and Doko Notko, whatever that means. And inside of this, some cuteness. It says, something born. Thanks to my starting this, something was born. As I kept up with this, something was born. Because I met other people, something was born. I reflected on myself, and something was born. There is a whole life contained within a Hobonichi Techo. Go ahead and write whatever you want in it, and at the end of the year, your own unique life book will be born. Lots of words I'm not going to read. So, and there is a fan base behind this. If you go out to Instagram and search for Hobonichi Techo, you're going to see all kinds of cool stuff like this, where absolute artists turn their books into these works of art. Mine is a bullet list. It's like a bullet journal. I could effectively do mine on a blank page, a blank book. But these things are wonderful. Oh, interesting. So here's a note saying that the paper is changing in the 2024 edition. So a year from now, they're going to change for the original Cousin Planner. Test the Tomoe River, new Tomoe River paper. Again, I'm still learning English. And this is kind of what the inside of the Techo looks like. So this is the new paper they're going to be using in 2024, and they've given you a sample to test out. You'll notice this is the non-English version. If you order the non-English version of the Hobonichi Techo, that's what you get. I love the different. One of the differences in the Japanese version versus the English is that they actually, again, I like my week starting on Monday and ending on Sunday. That's how I plan. So this is your weekend, and I like that they've grayed out Saturday and read it out Sunday. They don't do that in the English version, which you'll see. Now here's just a kanji version of the description and the English version of the description. Did you read it? No. Need it longer? No. Okay. So what this is the description of everything that I've just said. Here's the actual book, and you can see it's an A6 size, which I forget the actual dimensions. I always write it in the thing itself. It's grid squared, 3.5 millimeters, something. That's not right. Yeah, maybe it's 3.5, 3.6. In the very beginning, you'll have a couple of blank pieces of paper. You'll notice in mine, what I do is I put some of my favorite poems. I do my my reminder of conversions for measurements, megakila, standard value, all that kind of stuff, and some formulas for calculating power and current and resistance down there. Then what I do is I continue my poetry over here, the poems that I like, the Peace of the Wild Things, whatnot, my Domoko. And then as you get into it, as you get into the calendar itself, and I didn't mean to go this route, I was just going to go, yay, record something. You get a couple of year calendars. I find those very helpful. I have a key at the top of mine that I invented for myself. So as I go through these things, and I got lazy and quit marking them down. But you'll see up here I have vacation and holidays and important. So I've got little symbols, camping, and then in the actual calendar, I'll put the symbols so that I can look at the year and go, oh, here, important date coming up. And then beyond that is pretty cool. You end up with this month view. So you can kind of look at the next quarter of your life, well, a little beyond a quarter of your life, next 4 months of your life at a time. And what I use this for is I note important holidays, But then I kind of look at my month and I summarize each day. I kind of do what's one word that I can summarize what I did professionally, and one word that I can summarize what I did personally. And then I kind of look down through this and see if I'm focused enough. Beyond that, you get into your month views, notes, and then, of course, a little bit more detailed. So what I do in each of mine, I have a code that I put up at the top to say things like, did I take my blood pressure, blah, blah, blah. A little list of things up here that symbolically I can see on that day how the day finished up. And then I put a couple of notes about what was done on that day professionally and personally. And I do that by dividing one of the squares with a line, and on the top part of the line I put professional stuff, and on the bottom I put personal. Of course, that's written over top of all the important dates. So like if the dog has to go to the vet here, I'll write dog to vet. And what that is an overview of the month, and I can go, oh, dog to vet, I need to look at the details. And then I jump to the then I jump to the actual day and see some details about the appointment. Now, this serves as two things. This is past, present, and future. So if I'm looking at a day that has already gone by, I can go back and see what was planned for the day, what happened on the day. Present, I see the list of what's happening on the day, and then I write down details about what is actually happening. And future, of course, you look ahead and you can say, oh, this is what's coming up. When you get into the back of the Techo, they give you a bunch of blank pages dotted so that you can, it's not a grid, it's a grid of dots. And so this is free form that you can put whatever you want. And I usually have a page for holidays, birth dates, so I don't miss birth dates, and I'll translate it from my old one to my new one. I'll put, Christmas 2024, and as ideas come up, I'll put them down here so I don't lose it. Now everybody knows my secret. And then there used to be, they seem to have removed it. Maybe that's why the pages seemed a little smaller to me. Sure, no, here it is. So they always give you some Japanese factoids. And then there's, of course, your standard, everything has to have some important contacts and international size charts. I'm never really sure about that, but the conversion tables are useful, and I actually use this ruler periodically. My 100, so we all get these. We want to do these New Year's resolutions. I really don't kind of participate in the New Year's resolutions, but what I do is I will write down, here's 100 things that I would like to accomplish in 2023. And as I go through and accomplish them, I'll strike them out. And hopefully I can do that. And of course, in the back, personal notes, how to contact me if I lose this thing. Somebody hopefully would look in the back and say, here's how to help you out. Now, what did I get in this one? The other one, this is a different format. They make a long, skinny one that's vertical, where what this is a week view. And this is different for me. I've never used this version. If I can get into it. So I saw this on their website, and I thought, oh, this would be a nice supplement. And it really is. It's designed as a supplement, so you get your Techo. You've got this pocket in the back, and this is designed to fit right in that pocket. Oh, it's green, so you're going to see right through me. Is there a hole in me? It's a green screen. Messed up. So what this is a skinnier version of 2023. In comparison, you'll see here, you'll see that it's slightly smaller because they want to be able to fit it in that sleeve. And inside of it, what you've got is your year calendar. You still have, and then you get, and this one's not in English. So you get your week view, and it is 7 days. 7 days. So you've got the weekend over here, Sunday in red, Saturday in gray, and then your week view here, where you can put notes down this side and some action items at the top. And this one's delineated actually from 6 a.m. to 3 3 a.m. Yeah, so it's 24 hours. And what you can do is put your schedule down here so that at a glance, similar to what I was showing in the, well, I guess that was a month view. There's not a week view like this, so that's why you have the supplement. So at a glance, I can see, here's my week. And this is also something that what I originally got it for was they make another version of this that instead of being horizontal, it's vertical. I did find it very useful because the week is on one page vertically, and then over here is just all notes. But I think there, in my other Techo, that is plenty of room for notes. There's note space at the bottom, and I think this is just a nice way to look at the week and be able to say, okay, am I focused? Am I where I need to be? It's also something like with the Scouts, if they're doing planning, I can have all my personal stuff in here, carefully chosen personal stuff in here, I guess, and throw at them. That was the original idea, was that I would have this version for the Scout activities I was doing, and I would be able to give it to the Scouts when they were doing their planning and say, if you want me involved, make sure it doesn't conflict with what's in this book. This is not going to be used quite that way. This is going to be used purely for me to pull out and say, what's going on this week? Am I in sync? Am I good with what's going on? Of course, I could do that with the monthly view here, because I could look at this and say what's going on with the week, but there's not as much space. If I want to actually have the week by hours, this gives a better visual representation of where I need to be. Now, first things first is not clock-based planning, which is what I do. I try to do principle-centered time management, where I look at my roles, father, husband, entrepreneur, business person, whatever, employee, and focus my activities on those roles. I can still do that with this. And of course, there's a couple of blank pages of grid squares, so you can take notes and whatnot. And when I say a couple, there's literally two. 1, 2. 1, 2, I guess if we count front and back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 3. That's it. That's what I wanted to show you. If you're a journaler, get these Hobonichi Techos. They are amazing books. Now, why? I'm a computer guy. Why do I do this instead of doing it electronically? I get that question sometimes. They're like, why do you do this instead of doing it electronically? Well, there's a great app I use on my phone called Momento, Momento. I've been using it forever, and I actually paid for it in the way back. And then when they updated from Momento Classic to the current Momento, they grandfathered in everybody who had paid for it for the premium features, a subset of premium features. As they went on, they created new premium features that they said, hey, you're not grandfathered into this. You have to pay for these. And it was like formatting and stuff, and I didn't really care about it. So I said I paid for it once, so I'm not going to pay for it again. They just came out with version 3.6, and they threw me under the bus. These things, my computer can die, the service can go away, and my grandchildren's grandchildren can find these and go, hey, this guy was demented. Look what he was doing. They can get an idea. There's a historic value to this, I guess. Electronically, you would think the same kind of thing. You should go back in time and go, hey, here's an electronic biography of this person, and I can see everything about him. This app that I'm telling you about, in version 3.6, they suddenly said if you're not paying premium, you get 1 year of data. You can look back 1 year. Now, I used to use this app to go, what was I doing 5 years from now? Boom. And the nice thing about Momento is it grabs your social media feeds. It grabs Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and puts it all into one place. And it's got this nice little summary. You look at the date and boom, there's a summary there that kind of, you don't even have to dig into it. But you look at the date and go, oh, I remember that. That gives me the trigger that I need to remember that day. And then you click on it and you've got the details. I love the app. And I was trying to use it more and more. I was actually trying to move away from the paper to the app because I always have this phone with me. Granted, I usually have the paper with me too, but I always have the phone. It's nice to just make little notes. And then they threw me under the bus. Now, will I pay for the premium? Yes, because I like the app that much. Have I been able to? No. I turned on purchasing in my phone, and every time I go into the app, it's like, meh, Can't do it, bud. So I'm stuck to a year of data, and I've lost all my previous years of data. It's still there. I could probably go into the export it and have access to my data, own your data. But it's reasons like this. There was another one. I was using one called Day One. Day One Classic went away, and they came up with a new Day One. And I went to Open Day One Classic, and Apple said, this isn't supported anymore. You can keep it or you can delete it. Well, you keep it, you can't do anything with it, so I deleted it, and I'm assuming I lost all my previous data that was in that. Own your data. These third-party services are great, but if you're blogging on some third-party service, Blogger, and Google decides we're no longer going to support this, boom, you've lost everything. If you're on your own hosting service with WordPress or whatever blog platform you want, you own that data. As long as you're paying that host, you have access to that data. And if you're backing it up, you can always stand it up somewhere else, but you own the data. When you're using a third-party service, Facebook, Twitter, these things, you don't own the data, and Elon Musk has shown very much that you're screwed with Twitter if you don't own your data. Now, each one of them offers the opportunity to download the data. What are you going to do with it? I downloaded my data from Twitter, and it was surprisingly uninteresting because a lot of it was like, here's the tweet, but the associated information with it is inaccessible. So own your data. I like to own my history on paper. And I know it doesn't jibe with my tech stance. I've been babbling for a long time. Nobody's going to watch this, but I had fun doing it because I like talking into the Rode Podcaster V2. Great microphone.